YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to Mo's Knows. I am your host, Mose. Today we are on episode 3 of the checkup series. In this series, we're doing quick little checkups, check-ins with every NFL team, seeing where we are now as we head into the official start of training camp. Today we're on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, for the first 3 episodes in this series, we went in a bit of an order. We started with the Steelers, episode 1, Cowboys, episode 2. Why? Because those 2 teams start training camp on July 21st. They start on July 21st because they will be participating in the Hall of Fame game on August 5th. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers get to start training camp on July 24th. Why? Because they will be participating in the first game of the 2021 regular season on Thursday, September 9th against the previously mentioned Dallas Cowboys. This is why these 3 teams get to start training camp a little bit earlier, because they play meaningful games earlier than everyone else. All other NFL teams start their training camp on July 27th. So we're doing a quick little check-in, seeing where teams are now, taking a look at some key additions, taking a look at some key subtractions, some losses, and then looking at projected starting lineups for these teams. So let's jump right in with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, usually I start with the losses. Who did the team lose? But in this series, for this episode, I'm going to start with the additions. Because the additions is just the draft picks. Let's just be honest. They didn't really add any, free agents. They didn't poach any players from other teams. Basically, the additions is just all the new draft picks. So we got Joe Tryon, Kyle Trask, Robert Hainsey, Jalen Darden, and the rest of the 2021 draft class as the additions for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Now we can move over to the losses. Who did Tampa Bay lose? Let's key in the great Keith Sweat. Because they didn't lose anybody. Or as Keith would put it, they lost nobody. They didn't lose nobody. They re-signed all of their free agents. Levante David, Ndamukong Suh, Rob Gronkowski, Shaq Barrett, Antonio Brown. Who else was a free agent on that team? Whoever it was, they signed them all. They brought them all back. Didn't lose not one of them in free agency. Bruce Arians said during the press conference to Levante David, "You coming back. You ain't going nowhere." And they got it done. Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Ndamukong Suh. Even got Chris Godwin to stay. I think they signed him to the franchise tag, but they working on a long-term deal. Got Chris Godwin to stay. They didn't lose nobody. So basically, they running it back. We running it back with who we came with. And hold on, excuse me. I started the video. Listen, long story short, forgot to turn off the fan. You probably heard some noise in the background. Maybe you didn't. But if you did, I apologize. I just turned it off. And we're going to finish the video that way. I should have started over, but listen, this is raw and uncut. This is not live for y'all, but it's live for me. So we don't need to start over, do it again. Well, why? It's just a fan. I think the mic did a good job of picking me up. Y'all can hear me. So we're going to keep going how we going. But like I said, they running it back. They running it back with the same squad they came with. Added a couple young pieces for the future. I could see Joe Tryon as a rotational pass rusher, like they need more pass rushers, but have a young, explosive, athletic, rotational pass rusher to add to the group. But they running it back with who they came with. So let's take a look at the projected starters, because there's really no change. Tom Terrific, back at it again. Man in the quarterback position. Leonard Fournette, I forgot to mention him. They re-signed him too. Brought Leonard back. Oh, I could have added a key addition, Giovanni Bernard, but he probably gonna be the third back. They got Fournette. They got Ronald Jones. Giovanni Bernard probably gonna be the third back. They'll probably use him, more in the passing game. But, brought back Fournette. So he's back as a starting running back. Offensive line, Ryan Jensen, Alex Kappa, Ali Marpet at guards. Jensen is the center. Tristan Wirfs, right tackle. Donovan Smith, left tackle. Mike Evans, wide receiver 1. Chris Godwin, wide receiver 2. Antonio Brown, wide receiver 3. And you got Gronk at tight end. Best offense in the league? Arguably. Some might say the Kansas City Chiefs, but they have some offensive line issues. Patrick. Running for dear life in that Super Bowl. And then they cut their 2 starting tackles, Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. This is not a Chiefs video, but I'm just saying, if we're talking about arguably the best offense in the league, you got to put Tampa in there. Have to. Offensive line, top 3. Yeah. Skill position players, Evans, Godwin, Brown, Gronkowski, Fournette, Ronald Jones, Tom Brady at quarterback. They got to be mentioned as the top 1 or 2 offense in the league. Maybe the top, maybe number 1. Got to. That's the projected offense. I don't see anything changing. Again, knock on wood, unless an injury happens. But, we don't wish that on anybody. We want to see the best players on any given Sunday. But we know injuries happen in football. But that's the projected offense. Let's slide over to the defense, because there's not much change there either. Vita Vea in the middle. Ndamukong Suh, William Golston on the outsides. On the defensive line, linebacker core, you got Devin White, Levante David in the middle. Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul on the outsides. Now, one of the things I was saying during, my mock draft videos is maybe you draft somebody to replace Jason Pierre-Paul. He is due to make $12 million this year. Maybe that number is too high for an aging veteran, but with the cap that they had, they were able to keep him and still draft maybe his potential replacement. And I said, even if you keep him, you draft somebody who can come in and who can learn under him, somebody he can groom to eventually, take over when he's no longer there. So you get a guy like Joe Tryon who can learn from Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul, and Joe can offer you rotational pass rush snaps in this defense. But you maintain Jason Pierre-Paul. Now your linebacking core is set and your pass rush is set how you like it. Sean Murphy-Bunting. I like Jamil Dean as a starter. I know they got Carlton Davis and some other corners there. I like the combination of Jamil Dean and Sean Murphy-Bunting, and I hope they move forward with those 2 men in the outside. And then we got Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Winfield Jr. At the safety position. I see no weaknesses on this defense. I see a defense that has been brought back together. The nucleus is here. Vita Vea, Devin White, Levante David, Shaq Barrett. You got the complementary pieces around them. The secondary is young, active, and hungry. The pass rush still solid with Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, Tryon coming off the edge as a rotational piece. Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, William Golston on that defensive line, holding the fort down. I just see them getting, another step better. Everybody coming back, that camaraderie, that, familiarity, that chemistry has been built. I'm not penciling in at Tampa to run it back and to be back-to-back champs. But of any team who had the potential of running it back and being back-to-back champ, this is a good specimen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a good specimen of a team who can run it back. I think they're still hungry. I don't think one chip satisfied them. One chip don't satisfy Tom. He got 7 of them things and he going for 8. Don't think for 1 second he is not grinding to add another ring on his fingers. He got 7 of them. But if you look at Tom, he got 3 more fingers to fill up. Don't think for a second Tom isn't thinking that way, because he absolutely is thinking that way. He got 3 more fingers to fill up. And he going for the 8th one this year. That's going to wrap it up for Tampa Bay. This was easy. Not too many changes. Only additions really is the rookie class. They brought back all their free agents, didn't lose anybody. They trying to run it back. And they're going to be a force to reckon with. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you very, very greatly. If you want to tap in with Mose, you can do so by dropping a comment on this video. I love interacting with fans of all 32 teams. I love interacting with football fans. If you love football as much as me, let's talk about it. You can do that in the comment section. I'll drop the links to all of my social media platforms. You can hit me up on there, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can holler at me on Twitch. You can holler at me on all of my podcast platforms when I put out audio versions of my live shows. Anywhere Mose Knows is, you can reach me, and I love to talk to you. So come holler at me. Do me a favor. If you enjoyed any part of this video, if you enjoyed the whole video, do me a favor and hit a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. It helps the channel. It helps me know that you're liking the content and liking the series that I'm putting out. So hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Again, greatly appreciate it. You clicked on the thumbnail or the link to get to this video and you watched it. So guess what? You are part of the Mose Knows fam now. And there's nothing you can do about it. So since we family, help me out, family. Come on, please. Help me out. I need you to do two things for me. I need you to hit that subscribe button and then take another 2 seconds and hit that bell icon so that you get notified every time new content drops here at Mose Knows. We already 3 episodes deep in this checkup series. We had a little order for the first 3. Now the rest of them are going to be random. I might just pick a team out of the hat and do a team. All the rest of the teams start training camp on the 27th, so it really don't matter what order we go in. So I might just do a random pick a team. So you don't know who's going to be next. So you want to get those post notifications so that you know when the next episode drops and maybe it's your team. And that way you might want to check in. But I hope you check in all the videos, even if it's not your team, so that you get insight to all 32 teams as we get ready for the 2021 NFL season. Again, love and appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.